mindset.
I read this really good quote in a book I read the other day, and it said, "Fear is like wetting your pants, right? But courage is doing what you need to do with wet pants."
Okay.
Yeah. So, mate, we've had scary times. You could say, like a building collapses, or the staircase burns away, and then you're like, or you get lost in the house and you just don't know where to get out. But even though you're scared,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to season 2 of Conversations with myself, Francis Koh. I've been super excited about this one. This one is special. This one will touch everyone. We got one of, during the pandemic, we had heroes. We had people working on the front line, like doing real work. That was during the pandemic. We saw how important certain people, certain industry worked. Now, my guest today does this every day, all year round. What makes his job more special than most people? Not disrespecting what you lot do or what I do, but this man and his colleagues, they put their lives at risk every time they go to work to save our lives. So please, let's appreciate this. Let's take in some gems. We're going to go through everything, and he's going to teach us all we need to know that we should know, but we don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Paul, or they call him TP. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome. First and foremost, how often do you go to the gym?
First question right about, right?
Yes. So bring the mic closer.
There we go, just a little like that.
Yeah. Don't break the table, please. Don't take the table. You can take the table with him.
Well, it's a souvenir gift, right? Training wise, so gym wise, I try and train like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
But like, outside like sports and other stuff, another 2-3 times on top of that. So like, it's best to say I get 1 day of complete rest a week. It's best to say that.
Is that always the same day or a different day?
Different days usually. You got to play it how you feel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who have not guessed yet, Paul is a fireman, firefighter. You got the dream job for most guys.
I got the dream job for most little guys, like 8 years old. I don't know about when you grow up big, you want to be CEOs or something, but
yeah. I mean, we see your job. I wanna go straight into it and talk about the difficulties of your job before we get into how you got to become a fire. How hard is it to be a firefighter?
How hot? That's a hard question to answer, because it's like, as long as you have certain values, I'm sure you'll go far, basically. So, as long as you like teamwork, quote unquote courage, able to do the right thing when it counts. Those, the typical Superman things,
You're saying courage. I saw what you put up on your Instagram when the fire blew up.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably be like, yeah, you go first. You go first. I'll hold the hose pipe at the end.
I got you, but like 10 feet this way. Yeah.
Yeah. So
courage, strength, mastery. So knowing your trade and how to use the tools you got, and also a little bit of honor. So you're basically teamwork. You know how to work with your team. You don't want to let each other down, and you've got each other's back. That's like the most important thing.
Wow. And thank you. Thank you for being a fireman. I don't think, have I ever called a firefighter out? Never.
You never see us. I mean,
yeah.
we have a saying, we usually see us on your worst day.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, You only see us when something's gone really, really bad. But otherwise, when life's good, we're in the background, aren't we?
And you're playing a vital role. Like it's even like the biggest tragedy that we've had of recently is the Grenfell Tower.
That's true, yeah.
That was horrible. But I think, do you think you're appreciated by the general public?
Yes and no. I mean, it's always going to be bit by bit. Some people, like, when walking down the street, some people, like, want to come shake our hand, take pictures of the fire truck, that kind of stuff. Then other people are just like, I pay your taxes, like do this for me kind of thing. So it's a bit in and out, it's a bit this and that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that annoys me, as you know, my other job is I drive along, is when I hear a fire engine, the actual police or an ambulance, when they're trying to get to an emergency and the sirens are going. And the lack of people trying not to move out the way. And I mean not to move out the way, because they believe where they're going is more important than where you're going. How does that make you feel? And what do you think we can do to try and improve that to make your job easier?
The funny thing is, most of the time, so my fire station is on the M41. So when we need to get towards Brent Cross Hendon, it's just, gridlock sometimes because rush hour and that. And we'll be, sirens blasting, horns, lean out the window, guys, get out of the way, we gotta go. And maybe one car will move out of the way so we can get a bit of space. And another car will come and take that space. And it's just like, we're a big red truck, can't kind of see us. We kind of need to get where we need to go. But I think it's that thing where people just feel like they're more, not they're more important, but I don't know, I'm late to work, or I got to get to this meeting, or I got to get to see whoever I need to go. I need to get there before anyone else. So they just imagine the background of everyone else. It's just lower priority, even if it's a huge truck with flashing lights on it.
Yeah, people, please, when you see a fire truck moving, just move out of the way. And do you know where they're rushing to? They're only rushing, a few meters in front?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going anywhere. Let the firefighters do what they do best. Huh? Have you ever, do you get scared? Like, when you're about to go, what feelings come in? Because when I'm watching on TV in a film, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, one hand, see. But when you're in it,
swing out the window,
Francis got, okay.
I got this now, yeah.
What goes, or is it adrenaline? What goes through your body?
So
I read mindset.
I read this really good quote in a book I read the other day, and it said, fear is like wetting your pants, right? But courage is doing what you need to do with wet pants.
Okay.
Yeah. So, mate, we've had scary times, you could say, like a building collapses, or the staircase burns away, and then you're like, or you get lost in the house and you just don't know where to get out. But even though you're scared, as long as you keep on moving forward, taking a step, doing what you need to do, even though you're scared or afraid, that's gonna get you that's gonna get you out of the situation. So it's not so much about like, what do you do not to be afraid? It's you're always afraid, but you got to keep on going.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess this is where training kicks in as well.
Training because training, not so much, because training is like, how you should be familiar with your tools. It should be like an extension of you. So it's like when I pick up like a cutter thing for a car, it's just like, I just know how to use it. It just goes away. I'd have to stay there and think, oh wait, is it A button or is it B button today? Or like, because when you got to go, you just got to know how the tool works and go.
Which is interesting, you're saying cutting a car, because most people are actually unaware the different roles you lot play.
That's true, yeah.
Like you're not just putting out fires.
Yeah.
What's the most, beside the fire, what would you say is the most dangerous thing that you get called out for more often?
Anything can be dangerous. That's the thing. So we actually have on Twitter, on London Fire Brigade Twitter, we have a hashtag, not just fires, because we're trying to promote to people that we don't just put out fires. We actually do a lot of other stuff. We're a fire and rescue service, so we actually we do pretty much more rescue than fire now, because fires don't happen every single day. They do, but like not big ones like Grenfell and so. So let's see. Our role is saving life. So that could be someone stuck in a burning building. That could be a cat stuck in a tree. That could be someone trapped in a gate. Maybe they've trapped their hand trying to reach something. So saving life. Then we're looking at saving the environment. So petrol spill, which is killing the plants or nature. Chemical spill. A lorry spills milk into the river or something. Anything like that. So saving the environment. Then saving property. So that could be building collapse, flooding, not that's happened in the UK, but like an earthquake or something, tree falling down and breaking the building, so saving property. Those are the three things that we've pretty much, that's our job to do.
Wow. Petrol spill, how do you deal with that?
Depends how severe it is, but let's say I've had a motorbike fall over and it just starts, leaking petrol onto the middle of the road.
Yeah.
We can go up, Sam. The thing is, the fire truck is like a huge Swiss Army knife, and it's red as well. So it's got hundreds of tools on there, anything you could think of. We got sandbags in the back. Dump the sandbags on the petrol, soaks up the petrol, then we can dispose of that later on. But like the fire truck has got like a million things in it.
Wow. Talking about petrol spill, do you know how many people I see on petrol stations filling up the pump and on their phones?
Oh, yeah. That happens a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that is literally crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe the government should introduce some sort of penalty system to their petrol stations.
That's a good idea.
Because they could put in... Because I think on 3 occasions I've actually asked the person in the pump name, sorry, do you mind? One of them was like, no, I said, just my friend, look where we are. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy. It's
True.
crazy. But do you think people respect firefighters?
That's a difficult question to answer. Yeah. That's a difficult question.
Because we never hear firefighters. Like you said, you're there, but we don't know you're there. Like we talk about teachers, we talk about doctors, nurses. We never talk about firefighters. And if correct me if I'm wrong, you've been banned to take strike, haven't you?
We have a couple, yeah.
Yeah. So that is a lack of disrespect, in my opinion.
We had, so I don't know how much I can dwell into this but we've had occasions where recently, if you check in the news or so, there was an incident around Harrow somewhere where a group of guys actually came up and tried to steal the fire engine while we're actually doing a job. So the respect aspect of it, people respect us when we are in the role, doing the job, all guns are blazing, we got to get you out. That maybe they'll listen to us then. But when it's like outside and we're trying to say, mate, it's probably best not to, close that fire exit or do stuff like that, then they don't really respect us as much.
Why would you want to stay? What we? Sorry. What would you do with a fire truck? Okay, I'm sure if there's any fire trucks going on eBay, we know where they're coming from. Sorry. That is crazy. That is mad. Government funding. I believe one of the reasons why you firefighters got banned for striking is you demanded more money. Mm-hmm. Which for me, here's where I stand. You're actually putting your life at risk for me.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we pay you more? Because I'm sure if the government took it to the people to vote, should we pay certain jobs, firefighters being one of them, more? I don't think the general public would disagree with that.
Look at nurses.
Yeah.
Nurses are in the exact same position. They laid out their lives during COVID for us. I know a couple of nurses and friends. I mean, sleepless nights, stress, pretty much like hair falling out because they just and the amount of PPE they got to wear, have to stand on their feet and, can't go to the toilet for like 6 hours or something. And they're in the same position as us. I mean, it would be nice to get like a bit more money to reward it, but
I think they take your jobs for granted, as in they're using you because they know you're not in it for the money.
Yeah, I did tell when we first met. I did say no one becomes a firefighter for the bills or the pay, the money. No one does.
And they hold you ransom for that. Oh, it's all right. Paul loves his job, so we don't need to pay him more. He could just hold on to that. Is there certain conversations that are happening in the background to try treat you guys better than you're being treated? So
very recently, we just got a 1.5 pay rise. It's a little something getting towards what we need to do, but it's the first step in many changes hopefully to come.
So if I may, I'm not sure if you can answer this. how much extra is that on your paycheck?
I can't answer it, but it's
£1 50p.
Every little helps.
But it's a shame because I've seen even now the economy is recovering from a horrible time that we're going through. I've seen the government throw money to certain things that money shouldn't be going to, because there's other things that could do. There's a lot of homelessness has risen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are out of work more than 3 years ago. So I think more money should be injected to you guys because if you mess up at your job, you're gone. Mm. And if you mess up at your job, I'm gone. So you're actually saving lives. So I don't understand where that goes. So if we move on to, people need to be more aware of appliances at home. How can your average person ensure safety in their own home? Because the amount of people do not even know what elements make a fire. It's crazy.
So we do these things called home fire safety visits. So we do a lot in the background, but one of the things is we actually come to your house, give you advice of what you can do to make your home safer, and give you free smoke alarms as well if you don't have smoke alarms in there. And when we're going to a property and we're doing a little, survey and look around, one of the most common things we see is extension cables and overloading of the sockets. So I'm not sure if you know, but there's two different kinds of extension cables. You have your long, thick one, which has a little red light on it.
Yes.
And you have those little cubes which slot into the wall.
Yeah, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So that little cube right there, that has caused so many fires because the way that cube is, when it's in your wall, let's say if you put 5, 6, you load it up with as many.
The most it can have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, let's say you load up with 5, yeah? The weight of that 5 will slowly take it away from the wall, and that will allow electricity to arc from it. A little arc of electricity, instantly the plastic starts to melt away, and you got yourself a little fire there. Those are the most dangerous things you could be, apart from candles and other things you're being careless with. That's one of the most dangerous things you can have in your home.
Is there a way around that?
Sure, just swap that out for a nice little
long one
with a fuse in it. So if it did overload or arc, it would just
fuse will blow.
Turn it off.
You hear that, JB? Took notes. I was just saying that we got 2 up there, so we're gonna have to replace them. Don't act like you didn't know. I know you knew.
Don't worry, I'll give you guys a little survey after the story.
Fell. No, I never knew that. That is crazy, because I remember one time one of the people who checked electricity, they came to the house and they said our cooker was out of date.
Right.
We need to change that. So okay, it's gonna have to change. And I was telling my friends, you don't need to do it. No one knows. I'm like, well, the man said you need to change it. So we got 3 kids in the house. So
best idea to listen to him, innit? Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
A few £100 for a life. Let's go for a few £100. It's crazy. So you see these fire visits, is it something people can book?
Oh, sure. I mean, during the COVID time, we had to ease off them because of, social distancing and so. Yeah. But we're slowly getting back to normal. So all you can do is go to the London Fire Brigade website. It'll say home fire safety visit. Put your address in, put a contact number. That gets pinged to our team. Our team will ping the nearest fire station. And then bam.
Wow. And I guess in between fires or any work that you needed, hopefully there's none.
Yeah.
You are spreading awareness, which that brings your workload down, because if everyone's playing the tiny little parts, it helps.
It helps out, right? Yeah.
So that's within homes. What about within businesses, like in institutions, companies? How?
So going back a couple of years, and so people used to outsource their fire safety visits to the fire brigade, but ever since, I'm not sure, that was much long before I kind of joined up, and so that's been changed, and now people usually hire their own fire specialists for businesses and commercial properties and so.
Oh, wow.
But there is talk in the background of the fire service coming back ever since things like Grenfell, and where people are kind of glossing over issues, and so there's talk of the fire brigade coming back and starting doing their own fire investigation and visits and so.
Did you work? I'm assuming you was at Grantham.
No, I wasn't. That was before my time.
Oh, that's
before me.
Okay, because that was a horrible. I was actually there. I took my daughter there. Just I remember went home, just packed whatever I could pack inside a bag. Took my daughter there, and we just start handing out. And at the time, she's quite young. She's like, "Daddy, well, why all these people?" I said, "Babe, we just have to give what we can give." And every now and then, when she sees anything, she's like, "Oh, we was there, Daddy." So that was very touching. Talking about before your time. To get into the fire service. What was that like? What was the journey of you getting into there? Because it's an interesting one.
That is a very, it was a long journey. Let's say that. It was a very long journey. So it's back in, I think it was now 2012. I visited a London Fire Brigade Expo in the London Docklands. And that's where they invited teams from like Germany and Swiss. And I'm not sure if American teams came, but maybe a few of them did. And we had a big like firefighter expo. So it's like, which country can cut open this car the fastest and which country can save this dummy the fastest, you know, like I don't know, what would you call it? Gladiators.
Gladiators.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like for firefighters and stuff like that. So that was awesome. I went and visited that and I was like, yep.
So
that's what I want to do.
At this time, you didn't know anything about being a firefighter.
Yeah, at that time, nothing at all. I was just like, just going through the motions of what work, school, studying, whatever. I was actually studying to be a graphic designer way back.
Okay.
Yeah. So way back. But then I went to that show and I was like, yep, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Where do I sign up? Cool. Put my little form in, submitted when they opened up recruitment. First time, rejected.
Did it tell you why you got rejected?
No, that's the problem. So at the time, they outsourced their recruitment process to another company. So it's kind of like you'd fill out your CV and your form questions, and that'd go to another company. Then another company would put it into some big, I don't know, like lottery box or something, and they pick out the people who they go to the next stage and next stage and next stage.
Yeah.
So first year, boom, didn't get through. I was like, all right, cool. You never get
He's
these things.
Still skinny.
Yeah.
He's still skinny.
Yeah. I was like, I got some time to grow, do some other stuff. You never get these things in the first time. That's all right. Second year, submit, bam, rejected, kicked out again. So then I was like, at that point, I was like, this is going to be a bit trickier than I thought. So the third year, they open up recruitment.
So just to clarify, this is every year. So you can only submit once a year.
Well, recruitment opens at various different times. So it's kind of like you just get email drop. It's just like, recruit now. And then there'll just be a flood of everyone who wants to recruit, just flood in and just send all their things. So I'm just saying every year, but it could be every 6 months, every 12 months, every 18 months or so.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it averages out to once a year.
Let's say, at that time, we'll just say that for about like 1 year or so. So at the third, I think it was the third or fourth time I was recruitment, I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a fire station with my buddy there, and I'm going to help me fill out the form. Because I was thinking there must be something I'm not getting on the forms. I must be ticking some wrong question. Maybe there's some fire knowledge I'm missing out. So I said, okay, cool. So we all sat around the table. We all kind of brainstormed our brain together, thought about what's the best answer for this, what's the best answer for that. I put it in my own words, submitted it, put it forward, rejected. So at that point, and they all told me, they said, we did our best.
Were your friends firefighters?
Yeah, they were firefighters.
Okay.
So it was at Fulham Fire Station. At that point, they said, if the current firefighters couldn't get past the entry test, it's just luck. It's just rolling dice. So at that point, I just realized, all right, I got to keep buying my lotto ticket every single time. Don't care if I win, don't care if I lose, just got to keep putting in. 8 years. So since when I first decided I want to be a firefighter, 8 years later.
And you consistently filling it in.
Every single time a recruitment opened, bam, 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 bam. Email, text, bam, 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 send it through. Email, text, bam, 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 send it through. Didn't even care if I got in. Didn't even care if I didn't get in. Just keep submitting it. And 8 years went through. It said, you're through stage 1. I'm like, okay, that's good. Yeah, I know where this is going. You're through stage 2. Oh, okay, cool. Come down for role play. Yeah, come down, do a little recruitment thing. Oh, that was fun. That was nice. you're through stage 3. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And at that time, I didn't. At that time, I was like, oh, it's gonna, you know, I'm gonna get kicked out anytime. It's gonna cancel. But I kept going through the stages. And I kept going through, and I kept going through, and eventually, I got to trainer school, and I was just like, wow, I'm in. Like, my foot's in the door now.
So going back, because I believe to be a strong-willed person, and a few people who know me, they tell me I'm a willed, strong person. Mm-hmm. Between me and you and everyone else watching, after 5 years, yeah. I think I would go back to graphic design. Honestly, what was your frame of mind to just keep on going and not feeling disheartened? Because I would have taken it personal now. And you actually gone there with firefighters who were friends, who knows a few things or two. Mm-hmm. How did you keep on going?
Well, the funny thing is, so my dad's, one of his favorite films was this movie called Shawshank Redemption.
My favorite, I told you, it's my favorite film of all time.
And I don't want to like spoil it too much for the viewers or anything who haven't seen it, and so, but it's a really good movie with Morgan Freeman.
At his best.
Well, yeah, he's always at his best, always.
Yeah.
So, and he's pleading to, is like the jury to shorten his sentence so he can get out of prison. And he keeps submitting year after year after year. And they keep, you know, rejecting. And near the end of the movie, when he goes through his final time, they ask him, do you want to submit your evidence of why we should let you free? And at that point, he basically just says, I'm done with you guys. I don't care if I get in or out. I don't care. And he leaves that room. And lo and behold, it's granted.
Yeah. And he moved to meet his buddy.
Yeah. So realistically, I'm not sure if I somehow like, you know, visioned that in my sense. I was Morgan Freeman, submitting. But once I kind of stopped chasing it so much and just let it came, it just happened. So I just didn't focus so much on the end result. I just focused on, let me just keep doing consistent work and eventually it will come. And eventually it did.
Wow. That is beautiful. So it's funny you say that, because I find that sometimes the more you want something, you're just not getting it.
100%.
And 100%. The best way it comes to life for me is when I'm on a football pitch. Mm-hmm. You know, I want the ball so much, and I just want to just do my Ronaldo mixing with Messi, do this, and then it never happens. But whenever I don't think about it,
it just happens, right? Oh, yeah.
Did I just do that? Wow, that is amazing. So now we're going to training school. Mm-hmm. How tough was that now? Oof. Because that's 8 years now. Now, yeah. I guess at this point there's no quitting for you.
Oh no. If everyone on the course, on my course of, I think we started with, I think it was 14 or so. Once your foot in the door, no one wants to give up, because you've spent how many years or how many months or different lengths of time for different people. You're here now. You have to give up essentially your life for this now. And when I say it was tough, it is tough. It's like squeezing a degree into 11 weeks of training. Yeah, a whole degree. Because you got to learn building construction, how buildings burn. You got to learn fire science. You got to learn all your hazmat chemicals. You got to learn how to don and start a breathing apparatus and how all the gear works. You got to become like, it's almost like an astronaut, basically. You got to learn everything about the ship and how to make it work and how to make it go.
So at the end of that, you do a test, I'm assuming.
So how we had it was, on the weekend you'd study. On the Monday you'd get a informal test. So that's to see where your knowledge is. And then at the end of the week you'll get your proper test. So it's pretty much weekend study. Monday test. Hopefully you pass that, because you're getting a serious test on the Friday coming up.
And then straight after the test, you're studying again.
Right.
What happens if you fail the test?
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You got to do retakes, but if you consistently keep failing things, not just tests, also the course, also practical stuff as well, you get tested on, you get back coursed. So you get taken out your course and then put into a course later on back, and so. So
basically, if you just get, I don't even want to say it. I was going to say you get put with the dumber students.
No, it's definitely
not like that. You get put with newer student.
Yeah.
So
So you get some more time to, get
Yes.
your base and stuff.
So your time to progress to actually being a firefighter, it's longer.
A little longer, yeah.
So for you, after 8 years, that was a no-no.
No, just let me go straight there, speeding rocket.
Do you believe 11 weeks is adequate time to learn what you need to learn?
It used to be longer, but this is also, when you sign up for it, it's apprenticeship. So you do learn a lot on the job. And honestly, every single day, even if I go to work tomorrow, I'll learn something new because there's just so much. And maybe I'll learn a new technique, how to use some water, or maybe I'll learn a hidden passage in building, which will help me get up there fast or something. There's always something to learn every single day. Every single day.
That is amazing. It's just like, so is it mandatory that you stay in shape? Obviously.
It helps. It helps.
Have you ever seen a fat firefighter? I've never seen a fat firefighter.
No, I haven't.
I really haven't. They're all like.
Well, I won't say there's none, but but there are fitness tests we do have to pass. Like, so there is a yearly fitness test.
Oh, the bleep test? Do you like to do the bleep test?
It's actually a Cheshire hill treadmill climb. So it's actually, the treadmill starts at slow and it builds up and up and up over every minute. It goes up in the incline and so.
Do you know what? As I was telling you last time, I would like to not train with you in the gym. Jesus Christ, I might not make it to see another day. Just to see what it's like a fitness, not a fitness, like a firefighter training camp or something. We should do that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I just want 10%. Literally, we start it.
A day in the life,
Yeah. A day.
That
in
would
life.
be really good. Yeah. Have like some, water thingies and, maybe some ladders to climb, little day in the life of a firefighter.
That could be a business venture.
That could be, why not? I mean, they have those racing tracks, don't they, where you become a sports one
Yes.
for a day and so,
Have you been to any of that? No, you're not into Formula One, are you?
I do like Formula 1, but I've never been.
Yeah, it's actually fun. It's actually fun. Well, we should think about that.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So, let's say there's a kid out there who wants to do what you want to do. What advice would you give them?
Depending on what age they are, get in touch with your fire cadets. So, you got Army cadets, you have your Navy, RAF cadets. There's also fire cadets.
Didn't know that.
Well, they're around. We're the nearest one to us, I believe, is Wembley. They have Wembley fire cadets over there. So that's where kids and children, kind of like scouts or so, you can come, you learn all the firefighter stuff, you have firefighter gear, and at the end of this period of time, you'll put on a little show for your parents and so, of you, climbing ladder and doing firefighter stuff. That's a really good base of knowledge, but also that's a good test to see if you like, playing around with the fire stuff and see if it's for you. Once you got that under your belt, and maybe you get a little older, then I'd say probably become an instructor for the cadets. So once you've lived it, then become a teacher and then teach the children how to do it. At that stage, I think you're ready to go. Submit your application for the real thing.
It might take 8 years, 9 years, 7 years. But
Start
I'm assuming,
Yeah.
Start before you even go primary school. Parents, as soon as your child said, I want to be a firefighter, put in the application form. No, I mean, honestly, we thank you because the work you lot do is amazing. And the fact that it took you that long and you still carried on, that shows dedication to, I believe, in today's world, a lot of people don't have that kind of dedication to commit to something, even without knowing that it's going to come back. Because for you, it's come back. You're doing your dream job. You actually got a job that makes a difference. Like, I'm assuming every day you're excited going to work.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. There'll be times when you wake up, I don't know, you burnt your hand on something in a foul mood. You get to work and just like you just perk and just like, I love this. Yeah.
And what's the team like? Because you guys got mad shifts, innit? Is it days on, days off?
So our shift is 4 days on, 4 days off. So it's a day, night. And a day will start at 9:30 in the morning and end at 6 p.m. So
not bad.
Yeah, so you'll do 9:30 to 8 p.m., 9:30 to 8 p.m. Then you'll switch into night shift, and night shift will be 8 till 9:30 in the morning.
Then you get 4 days off.
Yep. After those 2 nights, then you'll get 4 days off.
So in those 4 days, how many of those days would you need to recover?
I usually take the first day off to recover, and then I'm good to go. Or maybe if I need to do, a bit of housework or, do any chores, I'll do that on the first day as a recovery day. And then I'll just, live the rest of my life for the other 3 days.
Wow. That's kind of like, you can get a lot done.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So every 4 days you're off, and then you can book whatever you need to book, do whatever you need. And then what I like is it like in the movies? You know, in the movies,
What's the movies
you know,
like?
when everyone's sleeping, right? And then the call comes in and everyone just puts on and everyone just slides down the pole.
Exactly like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jesus, I want to be a firefighter.
No, you definitely, because when you're in a good dream at like 2 a.m. in the morning, you'll be saying something completely different. No, but it is like that. I mean, it's like muscle memory. If the bells go down, you're just like out of bed, run downstairs, jump on the truck, and you're on your way.
No, that's amazing. No, we thank you. So, season 2, guys, we've had it. There it goes. But how we close off the show is you close the show.
I close it. Okay.
You however you want to close it, it's up to you. First and foremost, before we go, can we do a quick test on the elements? I think is, what is it? Oxygen.
Oh, fire triangle.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do the fire, and then also there's one for ambulance as well. Let's do those 2 to give people a bit of knowledge.
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. So your fire triangle, you have heat.
Yep. Fire.
Yep. So that could be anything. Could be a spark. Could be a lighter. Could be any kind of just warm friction, sunlight, any kind of heat like that. You have oxygen, so everything that we're breathing around us, and you have a fuel source, something that can catch fire or something that can burn. Yeah. So let's say if we're going to make a little fire triangle now, we could say, let's say, wood shavings. So that's your fuel, right? The heat, sunlight coming through a window, and there's plenty of oxygen in the room. Yeah. So then that can just ignite and become fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
And to break out the fire, just eliminate any of those 3.
Ideally. So
you're good to go.
Let's see, you have different fire extinguisher mediums. So let's say water. You put water on a fire, that's going to take away the heat, because now the heat, instead of warming up that substance, is going to start warming up the water, because the water has a high boiling point. So that's one way. Fire blanket takes out the oxygen. Fire can't breathe anymore. Foam. So if you have, like, let's say some kind of petrol fire or something like that, the foam creates a barrier between the fuel and the heat. So no fuel.
Wow. Yeah. And the ambulance one?
So you have, let's say, the human body can only survive in certain conditions. We're very, very fragile, even though you look like this. Very, very, very
well,
fragile.
You look like that. I don't. Hold on. Go on.
So you got your hypothermia. So that's too
the
cold, right?
Yes.
You have acidosis. That's essentially oxygen in the body, in the blood. Okay. And then you have coagulation. That's things boiling together.
Coagulation.
Yeah.
I knew that word.
You know that one. You got that one.
Yeah.
Let's say big cut on my arm. Yeah. Like in the movies. It's all spraying over.
Can you make sure you edit that in?
It's all coming out. So let's see. So firstly, let's go over what's happening. So I'm losing blood.
Yep.
So that's going to make me, I'm no longer warm. So the blood's going to keep me warm. So I'm getting cold. Because I'm getting cold, my cells aren't coagulating. So that scar's not forming properly. Because that scar's not forming properly, I haven't got enough blood to give oxygen around my body. Because I haven't got enough blood to give my body enough oxygen, I'm getting colder. Because I'm getting colder, it's not forming the scab. Because it's not forming the scab, and then cycle on the person.
So we want the scab then?
Yeah, we want the body to start closing that up, and so. Wow. So it's called a fatal triad. So essentially, the body will keep spiraling down if something doesn't happen. So let's see. So big gash on me. I got to think. Okay, first, cover it, right? So that's going to stop loss of blood.
Does it matter what we cover it with?
Ideally, it's clean.
Of course.
Ideally, something clean, right? So you want to hold that down tightly, something clean. So that's going to keep blood in the body, going to keep me a bit warm, going to keep my oxygen, stuff like that. So Pressure, keep that down. Also, blanket. So emergency blanket, wall blanket, t-shirts, jumper, something. So keep the body warm. And then if you had it, you'd probably want to give them oxygen, so a little mask as well. And those three things are basically fixing those triangles to keep the body in a better shape.
Do you teach this? Do firefighters go into schools? I know you do home visit, which you explained. Do you also go into schools?
We do little school visits and so, but again, we haven't done those for a while because of
I don't ever remember do you remember firefighters coming to school? I don't ever remember that.
Oh, well, I'm actually, so my local school around our fire station, I'm going to get in contact with them.
That's
and
West
we're going to
Hampstead.
do Emmanuel School around the corner. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yes. We're actually going to do, I think they have a superhero day in September. Okay. So we contacted them and we're going to have a little visit, and we will try and push some information out there to them as well.
Yeah, well, schools, please do get in touch. Any teachers, head teachers who are watching this, please do get in touch with your local firefighters and just do it. You could do it parents.
Yeah.
Or I think it's vital because half of the stuff, what's that big word he said?
Coagulation?
That's the one. I didn't even know about that. And this, why you laugh? You didn't know that word.
100%.
No,
It's when the blood clots. Who doesn't know that?
clearly.
I did first aid.
Hey, see?
I did first aid. I do know how to put someone in a recovery position.
There you go.
Even first aid, I think first aid should be taught in schools. I think there's some talks that they might be doing it in
I think
schools.
everyone should know that.
Everyone should know that. I believe first aid, that should be in school, and sign language.
Oh, yes.
First aid and sign language especially sign language, should be mandatory in schools because you never know when you might need it. And that's the things I think that, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's me done speaking. Let's finish off to Mr. Paul to close the show anyhow you want to close it, sir.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully I get a little part 2 maybe sometime in the future. That'd be great. But that's it for me, and take care.
Yes, part 2, he's definitely coming back. I think there's some very important information he gave out. And if there's anything any of you would like us to have covered, because he's gonna come back part 2, we can make it a regular thing. Because I believe your job is vital.
Sure,
It's really, really crucial. Until next time, guys, I've been your guest, Francis Koh, and the host, Paul the Firefighter, the big firefighter. Thank you very much. Till next time, love, peace, and happiness. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.